Everyone loads in pretty early. Yeah, okay, so whoosh. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Adroit TT eSports Dota 2 Weekly. This is our semi-final matchup. One of our two semi-final matchups between Team Besio, we're going to be over on the Radiant side, and Glorious European Dota, or GED, over on the Dire. And I am Baseskip, bringing you guys this game. So, overlays and everything seem okay. My settings seem fine, so we're going to be getting underway with this game. And Besio are going to start us off with a ban on the Batrider. So, we'll see how this all works out. I have to say, a little bit interested to see how GED play. They did just take out, I believe, the Gamers League international team, which, but not necessarily an upset, but surprising, I'll have to say. Though they do have Eosin of Eosin +4 playing for them right now, and he's actually known for, well, playing in Eosin +4, and I think they recently beat Dignitas at the top of the MLG Dota 2 tournament, which is not very widely broadcast, but that did happen, so definitely a fairly noteworthy player, I suppose, and I recognize him at least. Darkseer is going to be banned out here by Besio, and GED might just choose to ban out something like the Wisp or the Cottle here, which would perhaps leave Magnus in through the pull. No, Magnus is actually going to be the ban out, so Wisp and Cottle do both make it in, so we might see some CK Wisp, or we might see some PL Cottle in this game. I guess a little bit of a question mark on that one. So what's it going to be here for Besio? What's the right pick? There isn't necessarily a right pick. Cottle would be nice because it means that GED can't immediately lock Cottle PL, but it's actually going to be Undying. So a team that heavily favors the Undying is one that we haven't seen for for quite a while. The Keeper of the Light is a natural response to the Undying, since when you see Undying, you've got to expect that the enemy team is looking to run an offensive tri-lane against you. If you pick up the Undying as a safe lane support, he's bad at ganking, he's bad at farming, he's not great at a whole lot of things, but when it comes to an early game tri-lane versus tri-lane situation, he's great. He can be your off-lane solo as well, but when you pick him up this early in the draft, there's really no reason to be picking up the Undying this early in the draft if you're going to be running him as a sort of weak off-lane solo. So hopefully we'll see some offensive tri-lane action from Besio here, and I guess the question is whether GED are going to choose to go for the PL right now. If they leave it in the pool, Besio may not necessarily pick it up because, they may not necessarily pick it up because with the Undying, it's sort of at odds with with what they've shown with that pick, right? By picking up the Undying, they're sort of going aggressive, and PL doesn't fit in with that strategy, and they're actually going to opt to pick up CK here. So I talked about Cottle plus PL, I talked about Wisp plus CK. We've got a little bit of column A, and we've got a little bit of column B, but not a bad pairing, the two of them, and definitely a difficult defensive tri-lane to offensively tri-lane into. So we'll see what Besio are going to go for here.
10 seconds remaining.
I would be super surprised to see Wisp plus PL or something like that. Get some mismatched combos going on, but I think it might just be them looking to try and secure something nice for mid, and then perhaps another good offensive tri-lane support. They could even go for something like a Nakes for that offensive tri-lane. It would leave them with a dual melee offensive tri-lane, and that's not necessarily fun against the Keeper of the Light, but I really want to see them leverage this Undying pickup. If you pick up the Undying and then you just have him as your 5 or 4 position, I mean, he's typically the 4 position or 5 when he's in an offensive tri-lane, but if he's just in a defensive tri-lane, stacking and pulling and doing all sort of that stuff, you're sort of squandering his potential, in my opinion, because he's not a support that can look to gank mid. He's not a support that can do really sneaky smoke ganks. He's a team fighting early game monster that you really should be taking advantage of if you pick it up so early in the draft. So Besio actually just weighing their options right now. Wouldn't be too surprised to see something like a Rubik pickup, though. If GED feel like Besio aren't going to be running an offensive tri-lane against them, they could still look to pick up something like a Wisp to be ganking around the place. So it's actually going to be a Shadow Demon right now, and what's the last pickup going to be? It's going to be a gyrocopter, so it looks like it might still just be the defensive tri-lane for Besio. If it works out, it's going to work out well. If it goes badly, then I think we've all seen what happens when an offensive tri-lane goes sour, so yeah, hopefully everything will work out for them. And GED, what's the pickup going to be here? They're probably suspecting that they are still going to be offensively tri-laned against. They don't necessarily need to get the best defensive tri-lane support in the world, since they've pretty much already got it in the Keeper of the Light. They don't have a lot of power to clear out the Tombstone, at least early on, but just grabbing another 600 range support would definitely be nice to see at this point in time. So they could even try to secure their mid matchup right now by picking their mid and then banning mids really heavily through the next phase. But there's still enough flex in the draft, I think, right now that GED won't necessarily be able to just only throw mid bans in the next round. Besio may have their offensive tri-lane or defensive tri-lane already sorted out, but there's still a ton of good solos left in the pool, and Gyrocopter could even throw them for a loop and look to head towards mid as well. So yeah, there's plenty of options right now for Besio, but I do want to see the offensive tri-lane. And a shutdown CK doesn't really pose all that much of a threat, and GED chewing into their reserve time, they're going to find themselves a Weaver, so nice solo, could be their offlaner since there aren't that many left in the pool right now, and not a bad match against a lot of the other sort of solo versus solo heroes as well. Wisp is going to be banned out here by Besio, sort of forced into that one, but having the Wisp pick up wouldn't necessarily be bad, especially if they're looking to run an offensive tri-lane. If GED pick up a Wisp, they can look to punish it, because Wisp is so absurdly weak in a defensive tri-lane scenario. The CK helps him out a little bit because you can get guaranteed tether stuns with the Reality Rift, but he's still quite weak overall, and pretty good to offensively tri-lane into, so we'll see what GED are forced into picking up here. What's the ban going to be? I would like to see a Clinks ban, frankly, especially if Bessie are going to be running this offensive tri-lane, though they may not necessarily have a Clinks player, which would, I think, be to their detriment. So GED going to go for the slightly more standard safe solo ban right now in the Lone Druid. Phantom Lance are going to be banned out by Besio. So GED could still run a duo lane, well, could have still run a duo lane PL Coddle on top and then run a duo mid, something like CK Ancient Apparition, which is quite strong, and then just had the Weaver on the off lane, but Bessie are going to be removing that option. Invoker actually going to be banned out here as well by GED, and maybe they've done some research into their opponents. Maybe it's just a hero that they don't enjoy playing against, but an unusual ban, frankly, and maybe just sort of banning out what they dislike as opposed to just throwing darts at the board and hoping they hit something that Bessie were actually looking for. So that's a decision there. Again, I'd still like to see the Clinks ban by them, though there's no guarantee that Bessie have a player for it. And Bessie right now, with this last ban, they could look to try and secure their mid matchup a little bit better. Neither team has picked up their mid necessarily, and it's actually going to be Rubik the ban out here. So that defensive tri-lane support being banned, Luna's going to be removed from the pool by GED, and Bessie, they could show their mid right now, which they are going to with the Queen of Pain. The puck is still in the pool if GED would like to have it, especially against a Quap. It's a pretty good matchup, and there's no one really left in the pool right now that necessarily dominates the Queen of Pain, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see the puck, and then that last support just for the defensive tri-lane. And then Bessie are probably just looking for their safe lane solo. They could put the Queen of Pain down on that safe solo and pick up someone else for mid, or they could look to pick up an offlaner as well if they're going to be running a defensive tri-lane. There are options for them right now.
5 seconds remaining.
So GED, what's it going to be? They're running out of reserve time right now as well. Only 10 seconds left. Both teams digging deep into their reserve time as well for this draft. So a lot of complicated decisions, frankly, to be made. And a lot of directions that the draft could go. All almost randoming there, but it is actually going to be puck picked up by GED here. So not too surprising. Nice matchup against the Queen of Pain. Though, I suppose a little bit weaker in a flat lane. We did see that in the last game. Quap actually did a really good job against the puck, though that may have come down a little bit to player skill. I'm not 100% sure. So we'll have to see. And Besio just looking for that one last solo right now, be it an offlane solo, be it a safe lane solo. Clockwork is still in the pool, wouldn't be a bad choice, as is Bounty Hunter. Though if your Bounty Hunter gets shut down, you're going to be in trouble, and it'd be nice to see someone that synergizes quite well with the sort of early to mid-game strategy that they have going for them right now, especially with a carry Gyrocopter. It's a similar story for GED, but they're probably going to be running a offlane Weaver, who in a 1v1 matchup should be able to find at least a little bit of farm, but if he finds himself against the defensive tri-lane, then he's going to need a long time to try and recover, and Doom's going to be the pickup by Besio. I like it, frankly, but we'll see how it works out for them. And we'll see where he's going to be landing. That might mean that Doom is heading towards mid, Queen of Pain then maybe going down towards bot as the safe solo, and then that potential offensive tri-lane actually going to be taking the offensive tri-lane. They could look to jungle Doom as well, but it's just frankly not all that strong. So hopefully going to be seeing him on that mid lane. Against either Weaver or Puck, he's not necessarily going to have a great time, but should be able to find at least a degree of farm. And GED going to pick up another nice defensive tri-lane support, I think resigning themselves to the fact that Besio are going to be running that defensive tri-lane. So they're going to pick themselves up a Jakiro. They don't have great ganking for a Queen of Pain, but they do have good ganking for a Doom, even with the relatively weak gankers of the Coddle and the Jakiro. So it looks like we've got a very quick bio break, so I'm going to run over who's playing what on both sides. We're going to have, over on the side of GED, it's going to be Master Risk playing the Jakiro. Kriatret is going to be on the Chaos Knight. Eosin is going to be on the Puck. Ezalor playing the Keeper of the Light, so I guess syncing up the name with the hero there. No potential confusion. And Tux is going to be playing the Weaver. Over on the side of Besio, we've got Besio 430 playing the Queen of Pain. Mal is going to be on the Doom. Jebony Zero Havost is going to be on the Gyrocopter. Hypno on the Undying. And M3F, or Meph, I suppose, maybe, is going to be on that Shadow Demon. So, going to be getting underway with the game in just a second, hopefully. GED do have a 5-minute pause if they want it, so if Coddle is actually going for a bio break, then that might be a little bit longer. Both teams almost ready to go. Still interested to see how these lanes are going to be working out, and where GED actually send the Puck and the Weaver. But yeah, no matter what the matchup that they find, they should be sort of okay. Either of them should be fine against the Doom, but against the Quap, we'll have to see. Again, the Puck versus Quap is a pretty even matchup, though if one hero starts to get ahead, the other one can fall behind quite significantly, so which is just natural. Looks like Tux is going to be heading towards the offlane. Eosin, Bottle Rush primed for him. Going to be heading towards mid, and it's just going to be a defensive tri-lane right now for GED. We've even actually got a magic stick picked up on the Chaos Knight, which is even more of a sign that they're expecting this offensive tri-lane to be heading up. But looks like it's actually going to be an offlane Queen of Pain. Quap making her way up there right now, but M3F and Hypno moving that way as well. And actually the Gyrocopter coming up as well, so Blink first on the Quap. Bottle Rush set up, but they've actually given her the wards to try and place them a little bit more safely. So Besio not actually looking for the level 1 engagement right now, which is frankly a little bit surprising. Their level 1 fight is huge. They can pick up a point in Rocket Barrage, they can get that decay spam going in. While GED's level 1 fight is okay between an Ice Path and then an Illuminate, it could still go either way. I've got a whole bunch of ping spam going out right now. The very first ward of the game placed by Ezalor there. And Tux just making his way down towards bot. Observer Ward's going to be dropped off by Besio, saying, well, guys, I can't actually go and place any wards. They're waiting for me there. So I'm just going to head straight back to mid and maybe try and get a block off on my lane to try and give myself a little bit of advantage. Doom is actually going to be down on bot up against the Weaver. Weaver should have, frankly, a pretty good time. Doom hasn't been pooled anything, which is going to make life pretty tough for him. The Zerm Urn is a haste picked up there by Besio, so he could actually look to use that to get a little bit of blocking off. And Eosin just going for a full block right now. And worth noting, with the Puck's recently changed base damage, with the Mantle of Intelligence picked up, he's actually a little bit ahead of the Queen of Pain, and his damage range is actually slightly more consistent. It's 52 to 60 for the Queen of Pain, while Puck is 53 to 64, so A little bit better on the low end and a lot better on the high end. Now, slightly narrower spread, I believe, as well. No, the puck actually has slightly wider spread, but anywho. Warding right now for the defensive tri lane up on top. They just got one spotting at the movements of these two supports. M3F hasn't got any wards on the deck just yet, and Maul actually going to start the game off by picking up the Alpha Wolf Aura, just right-clicking Tux right now. And it's going to be harassment traded back and forth furiously down on bot. The Doom does have a pretty big advantage insofar as he immediately got level 2 just from eating the Alpha Wolf, but and looks like no, didn't actually manage to get a stack off on the camp at the same time, but should be okay down on this bottom lane. Though Tux can look to throw out quite a bit of harassment, especially with the Shikuchi. Nothing happening just yet up on top. Ezlor being a pest, throwing out those Luminates, just keeping everyone hanging back right now. And the one problem for Besio's tri-lane at the moment is that they don't really have all that much lockdown. Shadow Demon needs to look to be the initiation, but from there they're going to try and run into... Oh lord, first blood drawn by Maul down on bot. Honestly not sure how that one happened, but he's now up to level 4, and Tux down at level 2. I'm frankly unsure what happened. I guess he used Shikuchi and then Maul just manned straight up. Maybe got a lucky crit as well, but sorry about that one, guys. Not expecting the first blood to already be drawn down on that bottom lane. Risk looking to do a little bit of dewarding. M3F, same deal. He might actually be able to use those illusions to deward a little bit. That looks like Risk is going to be fine. Those illusions are actually just attacking him. So they lost their observer ward on the high ground, so he couldn't actually look to attack that sentry. Not sure what I'm talking about there. 2-minute run camped out by Master Risk, so ESN manages to grab himself a DD there. Bottle already up on the Queen of Pain, so doing a pretty good job on mid, only slightly ahead of the puck, though leading heavily as far as denies go. So ESN actually having a pretty tough time on mid so far. And when we have a second, I will actually check in on ping, since I suspect he is actually an American player. Now playing on Luxembourg. Yeah, 304 pings, so he's good, but that ping is going to be a big detriment to him. We'll see how this all works out on the middle lane. Bottle going to be dropped off in just a second. And Tux doesn't manage to get some harassment down on the Doom, but he's actually picked up a Ring of Health, so a little bit more survivable against that one. And Tux just looking to harass. Probably won't be able to find a counter kill. There's actually a crit out for Maul, but Tux still chasing. Is he going to be able to find this one? He's got the Shikuchi up in just a second. Maul underneath the tower. And doesn't actually have Scorched Earth up for a little bit. Oh, CK in trouble up on top. Pops off those stick charges. The zombie's still chasing through. I'm just going to be able to farm that one up for a little bit of gold. And again, it's part of the problem for Besio right now. It looks like GED were actually pushing in, but in the end, I mean, there's no punish on the side of Besio right now. And speaking of Besio, he's maybe in a little bit of trouble on mid, but looks like he's going to be absolutely fine. Has actually opted for a second point in Shadow Strike. No, he is not. So just a fairly standard build against the puck on mid right now. Though ESN winning quite heavily as far as the harassment war goes. And Besio trying to hang around probably until the 4-minute rune, though we might see Master Risk make his way down to camp that one out a second time. And looks like he's going to do so right now. So it's going to be tough for the Quap, and she's actually going to guest top down on bot. Oh, Mal finds another kill on Weaver. What am I doing? We've got a buyback right now from Tux. Besio manages to grab the invis, so bottling up. Risk actually not able to put down enough pressure to stop him there, and the Quap still chasing through. Maybe going to be heading back towards mid. There is a sentry ward spotting out that movement right now, so can't really do all that much. And yeah, sorry guys about these missed kills down on bot. I really thought the lane was going to be a lot more passive, and Mal, he's now got Doom up and Scorched Earth in just a second to try and heal himself. 3-second stun goes on an MEF or M3F. Going to be right click down a little bit, but the Rocket Barrage doing some great damage, forcing the CK back. Defensive disruption. Oh, one more right click. Ezalor, champion right click there. Probably rolled pretty high on that damage, I have to expect. Finds the kill on the Shadow Demon. So nicely played by him. And Mo actually going to be going to be taking himself back to base. I think those might be his Boots of Speed and his TP scroll. So he's going to be fine to get himself back down towards bot. And M3F, his inventory is completely empty right now. What is going on? We've got Boots swapping around the place, and Mal now does not pick his up. So Shadow Demon, it's a long walk for him back up the top, and he's got nothing but consumables right now. So a bare inventory for him. Mal makes his way down towards bot. Tux now up to level 6. It does have the time lapse up, but there's a Doom available on Doom. And Tuck's just putting a little bit more harassment, but these aggressive trades haven't worked out for him, and now Mal going on the offensive one more time. Great regen, especially between the Ring of Health and the Scorched Earth. Tuck's going to be forced to pop the time lapse there, just trying to stay ahead of this harassment war, but Doom is still up, and Tux needs to be careful. He is still close enough to his tower that he could just try and run back, but really doesn't want to be giving away another kill down to this bottom lane, and while he's finding good farm, he bought back as well. He's really behind as far as actual gold goes, despite what the CS score might show, so yeah, a little bit of maybe a rage buyback from him in there, because it didn't really afford him anything. The 6-run urn has just spawns, and that was just an illusion picked up by Besio, so he's got the last 2 urns. A little bit happier on mid lane right now, though Eason's still doing a great job on mid, despite the ping that he does have. It's only 2 for 1 the exchange right now. CK is feeling the pressure from this offensive tri lane up on top, but there isn't a whole lot of kill potential going its way, so it's just really keeping everyone up here to try and shut down the CK. And CK not so reliant on farming, but just ganking towards the middle game to try and make things happen, but Doom is scary down on bot. Eats some more harassment there from the Shikuchi, and it has actually dropped fairly low, but he's got 2 points up in the... Oh, hold that thought. Hypno's in trouble. Up on top, are the right clicks going to be enough? No, Stick Tar just keep him alive. 12 HP there. But GAD, it's a matter of... Well, it's a matter of very, very small amounts of HP. I'm not sure. It's not a matter of degrees, that's for sure. And I'll take some more harassment down on bot. Tux continues to put the pressure on. He has some Blades of Attack picked up, so... Sort of winning the harassment war right now. Goes back and around. Mal just going to man himself up, and Doom as well. Oh, the right click's going to be enough. He needs to roll a crit. Oh, Tux might just die regardless to the Doom. Going to get himself a little bit of farm and just buy up some items. But actually a worthwhile trade for him. He got the XP, he got the gold. And Doom only got the gold. So worthwhile exchange to make. And finally catching one of the kills down on that bottom lane. So sorry about that one, guys. Being a little bit lax, I suppose. And CK going for it aggressively right now. Shadow Demon making the long walk back up towards top one more time. This is the dedicated support for you guys. He's got Sentry Wards, he's got a Town Portal Scroll, and he's got nothing else. So he's making his way very, very slowly up towards top lane. He is soon just going to be bottling up on mid. 8-minute run is just about to spawn, so both heroes intensely interested in that one, but Besio manages to jump forward and grab himself the double damage, so ESN can do nothing but watch right now, and couldn't really man up, especially given that it was a DD. Tux and Mal trading hits again down on bot, but Tux winning this time, and actually going to start a time lapse as well, just for good measure. Make sure that he keeps the HP discrepancy as big as it possibly can be. And Doom now not having a great time down in this bottom lane. Surprising to find that they got those early kills, but it definitely is a lane that should be working out in favor of the Weaver, and is sort of doing so, as you can see, as far as the CS goes. M3F makes his way down and around. The warding has been great from him, but it hasn't really found them all that much. And it's actually fairly defensive, just really afraid perhaps of the puck making his way up towards top lane. Yesen actually doing a pretty good job on mid right now, though Besio is a little bit ahead. And that center ward going to be swiftly dealt with by a 3-man rotation from Glorious European Dota. We've got a Dream Cold going out on mid. Looks like the Illusory Orb didn't connect, but Eason's still looking for this kill. Doesn't really have all that much left, so it looks like Besio are going to be fine to make his escape. And at the same time, what the heck is going on in this lane? Mal pops Doom one more time and kills Tux. So that's 4 kills on this Doombringer right now. He is every kill on Besio right now. So actually doing a really good job, and I think Tux just playing too aggressively. He's winning as far as the harassment goes, and he's winning in terms of the farm, but he's getting doomed, and I think Mal might be rolling some lucky crits. And once he picks up the if he picks up a Vanguard, it's going to be significantly more difficult to deal with him. CK comes in, he gets the Heraldry back, but a nice disruption out. Soulcatcher into the top, he's now stuck in the middle of this, tombstone, but the Ice Path and the stun buying him some space. The Sonic Wave didn't actually connect on him. Ezlord had the target, one more right click from the Undying. Going to be picking up that kill, now Risk trying to make his escape, and another dedicated support, no items in the inventory. Besio comes up and around, but CK does actually have a stun. No, the decay and the nuke enough to find that kill, and Besio 3 seconds stun up on him, but looks like he's going to be absolutely fine. So 2 nice kills picked up by the Radiant side up on top, and now leading by 4. And well, he's got something on the courier for him right now. It is the Vitality Booster, it is going to be the Vanguard, And with that, going to be a lot more difficult for Tux to try and harass out of this bottom lane. Eosin's going to make his way down towards the 10-minute urn, so that's an illusion for him, and Courier just making its way down right now. Should be absolutely fine. So both mids locked in a pretty epic struggle right now. No kills really going either way just yet, though. We've got Ezreal and Master Risk looking to change that quite soon. CK's playing pretty defensively up on top, so they might suspect that something is going on. And it might actually just turn out to be wasted time for GED, which is time that they can scarce afford to use. It's pretty much a 0 XP swing right now, but 2k gold in favor of the Radiant. And I'm going to be pushing that out quite a bit. Doom actually should be quite farmed, yeah, top of net worth right now, especially given that he has managed to max out the Devourer. And that getting that early kill up as well, I believe he was the first blood, I want to say, so that's a big source of that gold lead. And Tux, with the buyback, pretty much half of his gold right now, despite what the net worth would be telling you. We've still got Ezreal hanging out on mid, just soaking XP. Gonna be throwing the Illuminate out. Oh, can they find the combo? There's the Dream Coil. Is he gonna blink to break it? He will be able to dodge out of the way of the Illuminate and the Illusory Orb. So Besio, no second guessing that one, and TP now heading up towards top. Tux makes his appearance. Malda does now have his phase boots finished up. It's going to be extremely difficult to kill. There's going to be an Ice Path going out, and CK just looking to go to work on the Shadow Demon, but Tombstone is down, and this is big trouble. Tux comes through. He's still looking for this kill. The stick charges pop off, and Gyrocopter in trouble. Is there going to be one more Geminate attack? No, there's a heal up. Tux does find a kill on the Shadow Demon. Double kill for him as well. Hypno now in trouble. 4-second stun goes out. The zombie's still doing a little bit of damage, but Tux probably going to be cleaning this up quite quickly. Ezreal comes in for the assist as well, and 5 heroes joining the fray up on top right now for GED. Invis picked up by Besio, going to be making his way up and around, spots out Eosin. There was a little bit of a body block confrontation there, and he's actually going to be looking for some kills up on the CK and the Keeper of Light. We've got more TP support coming in, and Besio jumps looking for the CK, and he's still got Sonic Wave available. Turns around, 3-second stun up on the Gyrocopter, and CK just going to try and TP himself out. They need to throw all the no, the scream of pain. Misses completely. Bad guess there from Quap, and losing them a kill. A little bit unfortunate. Only a 1-kill split right now. And that last little engagement up on top working out fantastically for GED. So Mal continues to farm down on bot, and a farm Doombringer can definitely be scary, but Tux with the double kill a little bit better. Yeah, getting a big gold boost out of that one. So despite not being down on bot, he is making things happen around the map and does now make his way down there. At the same time, we're yet to see a first blood in terms of towers just yet, and both teams do definitely have very kill-oriented lineups. I mean, GED, they've got nice counter push with the Keeper of the Light, but not a whole lot of push of their own at least until the CK starts to get points up in the Phantasm. And the Illuminate just keeping everyone back on top lane right now. Shadow Demon still down on level 4, and the same deal for Master Risk. So both of the supports obscenely poor. I mean, Shadow Demon has 68 gold to his name. That's his net worth. That's it. That's all he's got. It's ridiculous. But I guess dedicated support. Gotta give him some kudos for that one. Ezreal just gonna be throwing out an Illuminate. Not really gonna connect on anyone up on top. All the Radiant side just ducking off into the trees. Tux is making his way up and around, but he has been spotted out by these diligently placed Radiant wards. And is there a TP up on Doombringer? There needs to be. They need him for this fight. They might need the Doom. Tux reveals himself. They're putting some damage out on the Gyrocopter, and he's already down on half HP. And oh, the Undying's just looking to man up. He throws on the Tombstone, but it's a 4-second stun, and he's actually going to be the one going down. And Doom's still just trying to find this tower down on bot. So 1 kill picked up by GED. They bring everyone up towards top. They actually recalled Eosin in as well. He's got his Blink Dagger finished up if he would like to grab that one. So doing a pretty great job as far as farm goes, and the last hit on that tower taken by the Chaos Knight. So it's even as far as kills go. It's about a 2k XP lead in favor of GED. There's still a gold lead in favor of Besio. We've got the call down to slow things up a little bit on top, and CK finds himself stuck behind the tower. They're going to throw in an Ice Path, try and free up a lot of covering space for him. The Sonic Wave flies. CK does actually drop to the tower in the end, so nicely played there by the Queen of Pain. Was a bit of a question as to whether or not he was going to be able to find that kill, but working out well in the end. Tux finished up his drum, just some nice cheap effective items for him. And Maul scouting out a mid. He's actually got a Hyperstone picked up. So looks like it might just be an AC as the first big pickup for him. knows the Tux is there, but can't really do all that much about it. And GED with 3 on mid right now. eSN here as well, looking to make use of that Blink Dagger. Doesn't have the Dream Coil up, and the Illuminate might connect on Maul, the Blink through, and he's just being absolutely shredded by that Beetle. Pretty much nil armor for him right now, and within seconds, -5 on top. So the right clicks and Tux doing a huge amount of damage. And right now, I mean, I think Doom needs to be making more use of his Doom. He's finding some great farm, and as far as carries go, Doom is definitely a strong one. I mean, just look at his farm at the moment. He's pretty much got a baked-in Hand of Midas, but hopefully going to be seeing him make use of the Doom on mid. Otherwise, it's just a cooldown sitting there, and it's a rank 2. Well, it's a rank 2 Doom as well. That's pretty much one hero completely out of the fight, and Quap not doing a bad job either. Ultimate Orb now picked up, so they're going to be making their way towards a Hex. We've got a Drum finished up on the Chaos Knight, and he's got a Haste, making his way up, looking for the Gyrocopter. He's going to throw down the cooldown just for a little bit of space, and the Rocket Barrage doing a huge amount of damage. CK still wants this, but he's only got 1 point up in the Phantasms. And Gyrocopter wins that round. We've got everyone making their way up towards this top zone, and holy crap, Shadow Demon is very, very interested in what's going on up on this top rune. He has been throwing down ward after ward after ward. They definitely want control up here. And I mean, we're 60 minutes into the game, and this ward is just expiring. So that one was placed at about 10 minutes. So a lot of fervent attention paid to the top lane, and Shadow Demon still with no boots picked up. How much farm has he actually managed to give the Undying? A fair bit. He's got a cloak picked up, so not super poor, but not doing all that well. And we do already have boots picked up on the Jakiro, so he's doing a little bit better than the Shadow Demon right now. Yosin makes his way down towards bot. Azlor actually making some pretty good progress towards a mech right now, quite farmed as far as that 4 pack of supports go on the bottom of the pack. Oh god, that was bad. Pack and pack. Besio just looking to get the next point up in that ultimate right now. Tux doing some great harassment, especially with this item build. It's cheap, it's effective, it's basically a Gyrocopter build, frankly. But it's working out well for him, and down on bot, Eason in trouble, gets doomed up. Is there going to be a deny perhaps attempted? No. Mal finds the kill, Masterix comes in, and Doom going to have to go the long way around, but Tux is here waiting for him. And can they actually disable him in time? He's still got phase boots. The Scorched Earth does now wear off. Are they going to be recalling someone back in? Hypno comes in, throws on the tombstone, looking to put an end to this push, but Tux says, I want you dead. I want you dead now. But Mal now turning around. A little bit of indecision. Decay doesn't connect. All of GED have actually backed off, so it's just Tux looking for solo kills, and Shadow Demon comes in. Should be enough to put an end to this one, so. But what aggression from Tux, frankly. I guess we got a hint of that earlier with the buyback and the dive underneath the tower, but yeah, just playing balls to the wall, I suppose. And double damage going to be picked up him right now. And Gyrocopter finds a tier 1 tower for free up on top, going to try and TP himself out. The Dream Coil is available, but Eason holds it. I guess suspecting that he might not be able to find that kill, and just standing near that Rocket Barrage is going to be absolutely devastating. It is a max Rocket Barrage as well, so it does a ridiculous amount of damage, and only has a 5.5 second cooldown. So 1v1ing the Gyrocopter right now is actually extremely difficult. As far as overall farm and XP goes, it's pretty much nothing in terms of XP, but still a little bit of a gold lead for Besio. As far as the ultra late game goes, I mean, GED do have a bit of duo carry, but it's the same story for Besio, and Doom with farm is, once he gets that Doom off, he's pretty much making the fight a 4v5. And Tux hopefully going to be picking up a Lincoln Sphere, frankly. I mean, yes, Doom can always just use level death to break the Lincolns and then Doom you, but it's an extra layer that he does sort of need to break through. So, Hypno and M3F on mid. Eosin trying to put some pressure on the Gyrocopter right now, but Gyrocopter actually just manning up. Eosin taking a huge amount of damage. Can't blink away just yet. Phase Shift still on cooldown. Going to throw the orb, jump himself across to the other way, and will be fine to escape, but he's going to be recalled into mid right now, but he's way too low to try and go for this. The Reality Rift doesn't connect, and CK finds himself all the way back behind the tower. Looks like he's just being abandoned by his teammates. Gyrocopter comes in, but Quap does actually drop. Not sure where that one happened. Looks like Tux was in a long way back. now looking for the Shadow Demon, throwing out some damage. The disruption not available. Tux wants this kill. He's going to be able to find it. A double kill for him, but the Doom comes out from Doom. And now giving chase. Are they going to be able to stop this one? An Ice Path flies out. They should be able to at least find the deny. I don't think Tux is going to survive. He wants this deny, but Eslor not able to find. A little bit of a misplay there. CK going to work with the Sonic Wave in over the top. He's going to drop the Dream Call, still holding everyone in place, and Maul actually standing in the very edge of that Macropie right now. Eslor's going to drop as well. It's a 5-0 wipe in favor of Besio, extending the kill lead out by exactly 5 at the same time. Nicely played by them. Everyone was so low at the end of that fight. And it looks like we did have a buyback from the Queen of Pain as well. So 5-2, I suppose, the exchange. But Besio are going to have to be happy with that one regardless. And not going to be able to claim a tier 1 on mid at the same time. Farm looking fantastic for all of their heroes right now. And that last team fight, just really not great for GED. And Tux, while he did find the double kill, was extremely punished by that Doom. Blinding Light doesn't cancel TPs, so Ezelor not able to stop that one. Nice shift Q, nice attempt, but Blinding Light doesn't actually have a stun. So if you cast it on a Sand King who's epicentering, you're just bouncing him. If you cast it on someone who's TPing, you don't cancel it. If you cast it on any channel, all you're doing is bouncing the hero around. So it's a balance feature, I suppose, for the Blinding Light. It means that Eslor doesn't have a stun aside from his Chakra Magic, and it means that he can't stun a stationary target pretty much regardless, unless they're already out of mana because of a Pugna Ward or something. But yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate for the Keeper of the Light, and Gyrocopter able to make his escape. This warding from Besio right now, it's still ridiculous. They've got wards on the map at absolutely all times. They're spotting out every movement from GED, and really just finding good fights at the moment. CK not all that much, well, not all that farmed. He had the treads and the drum up a little while ago. Eosin, I think the lag may be coming into play a little bit. I mean, he's only participated in 1 kill so far this game. Hasn't really been all that much of a playmaker so far. And Gyrocopter just looking to do a little bit of dewarding. Tux has actually gone for more sort of early to mid-game effectiveness with the Medallion of Courage pickup, so still just looking for solo ganking right now. Does do a lot of damage, but quite squishy on the Weaver right now, so relying a lot on the time lock. Well, relying a lot on the time lapse, sorry, to try and escape. Looks like I had a couple more drop frames in amongst the last little bit, but hopefully that is not a trend that will continue. So anyway, GED straight up on mid. Fortification is going to be popped off as well. Hypno looking to run forward and put some pressure on. Tux actually splits off to the side, comes back in, looking to put some damage down on the Queen of Pain, forces the defensive blink back, and Eosin off to the side. We've actually got Gyrocopter just split pushing down on bot right now, and he should be able to claim this tier 2, or at least force back TPs to relieve the pressure on mid. So a nice decision from him. Tux is actually going to TP back towards bot right now. Can he get the deny off? No, Gyrocopter's going to be able to find this one, and now just TP himself away. No punish whatsoever from GED. And did nobody else have a TP? Master Risk did, and CK did not. Eosin did. Eslor did not. But yeah, frankly surprising to see that tier 2 went completely unpunished, and they didn't even manage to claim the tier 1 on mid. So GED actually playing quite cautiously right now, and it's definitely being exploited by the Radiant side. And they just can't do anything surprising either. There's wards spotting out their every move. There's even a sentry here as well, just to try and spot out a ward, try and spot out a smoke gank as well. And as far as XP and gold, it's now pushing back in the Radiant favor in terms of XP, and gold never really in GED's favor. Now about 4.5k the lead for Besio, and Quap making great progress towards that Hex. It won't be the fastest Hex in the world, but still going to be there when they need it, and CK is going to have trouble with that. He is a long way away from his BKB, actually making his way towards an Armlet right now, but that's still minutes perhaps away, unless it's just the Helm of Iron Will up on the Courier right now. So GED playing a little bit of 5-man Dota, but they're being split pushed to death. And looks like a tier 2 on top is going to be in trouble as well. Gyrocopter, he's not done. He's down towards bot. He's got a Yasha picked up, and GED just need to really force this on mid. They come in. They will be able to grab the tower. It's taken by the Dire. CK not able to get the last hit there. Master Risk makes his way up towards top, but if it's only him, he might die. Besio goes for the defensive play, blinks himself into the trees, and just TPs out. The tier 1 on mid was taken by GED, so a little bit of a respite for them. And Eslor has now managed to finish up his mech, so a nice little pickup for him. Gyrocopter still being an absolute pain in the ass down on bottom lane. He pushes it out, he TPs out, he pushes it out, he TPs out, and hopefully GED will be able to punish this at some point. A lot of the confidence that this gyrocopter has is that the only place, well now, that GED can TP to is their base, and he's pretty much got wards covering the other two angles right now, as you can sort of see. So a little bit difficult to try and find a gank on him. And I mean, Doom is getting scarier and scarier. AC already finished up. 3.2k gold up in the bank, and almost 13k the net worth. He just hasn't been stopped at all as far as the Devour goes. And now up to level 16 as well. Giving you guys a quick check in on the hero level. You can see Tuck's a little bit behind Mal, but the Radiant really leading the board, aside from that oh-so-dedicated Shadow Demon, who does now finally have some boots, and 4 smokes, in fact. They completely bought out those smokes. We've got a smoke gank happening right from GED, and they're going to try and finally punish this gyrocopter for his actions. He's going to be reality rushed back, and he is going to die. Yes, the formula couldn't last forever. Tier 2 on mid, now under threat, and Mal with a Reaver picked up. TPs are going to come in and tuck straight into the Shikuchi, but will be caught by the Soul Catcher regardless. Besio tries to turn around, put some damage out. Tuck still just barely out of range. And Illuminate putting an end to the push, at least for a little bit. But the tier 2 has already dropped low, and the problem for GED is that they don't have a carry that can just sit back and farm and win this late game. They do have duo carry between Tux and the CK, but CK is still a long way away from his armlet. It's not fast farm, and Tux again went for these early to mid game ganking effectiveness items to pair up with the CK, but he hasn't really found all that much. And Doom's having none of that. It's just big item after big item for him. Roshan going to be taken here by GED, and Besio not actually in a position to punish it, so a nice decision from GED there. Aegis in hand makes it a little bit more difficult for Besio to try and push in, but none of their heroes are really too scary with 2 lives, and I mean, especially the CK. If his illusions get cleared up in life 1, then coming back isn't necessarily going to be all that great for him. But they don't really have better options. If Tux dies in the fight, then a second life is going to be coming back to everyone else on his team already dead. And that's obviously a terrible situation. We've now got the Hex finished up on Besio as well. Eosin comes in, but immediately gets Hexed, and the Blink away. And GED just cannot find these ganks. They can't punish the split push. And Besio continue to extend the farm leads right now. About a 4k XP lead, and getting up towards a 10k gold lead as well. Though GED are still holding on. Tier 2 tower on mid, not quite in deny range, about 4 HP out. And Doom going to be making his way towards a heart as that next pickup, so. Nice decision from him, and he's going to be really, really absurdly tanky at this point. We've got a smoke gank coming out from GED, and trying to find someone down on bottom lane like they did earlier, but not sure if they're going to have any luck this time around. We'll have to see in just a second. Just waiting for someone to try and come and farm this. And we've got a very quick pause coming out. Bio break, apparently. So, water closet. Anyway, okay, so where are we in this game? Besio lead by 4 kills. They lead by a lot of gold. They lead by a lot of XP. They've got good late game. Undying falls off a little bit as we head towards that sort of ultra late game phase, but he's making his way towards a pipe right now. So still making himself useful, pretty much regardless. And he actually has the headdress up as well, so he's almost got that pipe finished. Shadow Demon not doing all that much. Gyrocopter probably just going to be heading towards the Manta style next. Clop quite farmed, has that Hex up, and really difficult to gank her right now, especially for GED. And Doom is just getting fatter and fatter and fatter. GED definitely like the decisions that they're making. They've got the Aegis, but they're not playing defensively. They're realizing that they are going to be split pushed to death. A little bit split pushed and out farmed if they let the game drag on too long, since they are being pushed back, and Besio are actually making a little bit of use of their jungle as well. So I like the decision to try and go for the smoke gank, but it's really going to come down to whether or not they can actually find anyone. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Boarding still relentless from Besio right now. GED had a ward to try and keep an eye on Roshan, but that's pretty much it. They're playing really blind right now. They don't know where Besio's heroes are. They're coming down into the jungle because they suspect that someone is there since nobody is really pushing the lanes, and they just saw the quap top a little while ago. But this could be dangerous for them, especially if TPs are all up for the Radiant Heroes, and they are. If they just TP down to this tier 2 or have even the very speedy gyrocopter just run up and around, Doom could survive long enough for them to actually try and take a fight. So if Doom is spotted out here by GED, there is definitely the potential for a turnaround. And he's still, well, he's not Scorched Earth up right now, but Phase Boots, and just going to be zipping away. So I don't think the smoke gank is necessarily going to connect. And that's pretty much it. As far as items go over on the side of GED, we've got Tux just tanking up a little bit. He picked up a Naked Vitality booster just for some health. Looks like he's making his way towards a BKB right now, perhaps with the Ogre Club. ESN working towards what looks perhaps to be a Hex, though it is obviously quite slow. He just hasn't really got all that much done. 1 for 2 for 1. Almost, I think 18 minutes ago we saw him 1 for 2 for nil, so hasn't really been a big playmaker in this game. And again, a reminder that he's actually is a really good player, but he's up at 300 ping, and on a hero like Puck, that's not a fun situation to be in. So he's maybe playing a little bit more cautiously as well in this game, and it's being punished a little bit by, well, definitely by Besio. So I have to say the Quap doing, well, not all that much more, 2 for 1 for 4, but has that Hex finished up and quite a bit more farm than the Puck right now. So, yeah, still just waiting around. Got a ping out from GED. I think they may have now caught up to the stream, so they might actually be able to tell where everybody is. As far as those pings go, that may or may not be the case. I can't cover the minimap, and that's 2 minutes delay. I guess it's a small advantage for GED, but it's the same advantage for Besio. They know that there's this smoke up, and yeah, that's about it. So just a little bit of scribbling happening right now, and yeah, we've got circles drawn. I think GED have caught up with they've caught up with the stream, but the other thing is as well is that they could just have somebody leave and then spectate the game. Well, not leave, but just disconnect and spectate the game, and they would be behind 2 minutes of delay anyway. So yeah, that's just how the cookie crumbles, frankly. It's not a question of how much delay I have on the stream. I'm matching Dota TV, and I can't do any better because even if I was running 10 minutes of delay, then they could always just use someone spectating via Dota TV. Though Dota TV spectators may actually be disabled for this game. So the stream may actually be the only way that GED know about this. And I guess there's an argument to be made then about a longer delay on the stream. But anyway, looks like Doom's going to be fine to escape. And the advantage goes both ways. He knows that there's a smoke gank coming, and they know where he is. And he's going to be fine, because he's got Scorched Earth. He's going to have Phase Boots up in 7 seconds. He's going to be able to run his way back to his team, and they could even call for everybody to come down and try and punish this really aggressive gank. Well, you guys are ready, but they're not ready, so okay, we're still waiting, Tux. Just waiting on the Shadow Demon right now, I think. He's still got 4 smokes in its inventory as well, so they can chain smoke anywhere they want around the map, and that's chain smoke in a positive sense, I guess. Yeah, we've still got a long pause. I don't really have all that much left to talk about, so what are you gonna do? I guess times like this, where you wish you had a co-caster, and yeah, we're actually gonna have Master Risk go for a little bit of bio break as well. So yeah, maybe I'll see if there's anything entertaining in chat. You guys are gonna have to deal with the taskbar for just a second, so sorry about that. But yeah, nobody is really saying anything interesting. So still waiting, and still more all chat, but anyway. I guess I'll take another opportunity to plug sponsors and plug the tournament. So if you want to support Adroits, you can follow us here on Twitch. You can follow them on Twitter, which is at AdroitsTweets. You can subscribe to them on YouTube, which is youtube.com/AdroitsTV, which is all the VODs for last week are, along with all the VODs for this week, where they're going to be going. If you want to like them on Facebook, then that's facebook.com/Adroits. And the website is adroits.net, where you should be able to find all of those links. TT eSports, who are providing the prizes for this tournament, Their Twitter is at TT eSports, and their Facebook is facebook.com/TT eSports. So if you're appreciative of them for putting up the prizes for this one, then go and show your support. So it looks like we're waiting for a long time for this break, but hopefully we'll be able to unpause in just a second. And yeah, looks like Shadow Demon's had a little bit of a crisis, and Tux wishing nothing but death upon his opponent. Tux is ready to go, but I don't think Besio are. So yeah, they're just waiting around right now. I think they still have a little bit longer of this 5-minute pause. Got some drawing on the map, and yeah, ready to go. Awesome. I was running out of anything to say whatsoever, so the smoke gank is going to continue, but Doom's going to take the shortest path just to run away. I think both teams profiting a little bit from that pause. Quap is going to head straight up towards top to try and put some pressure onto this tier 2 and maybe try and force some TPs back. GED, it's a nice decision from them to try and head down and just trade. But yeah, okay, so GED, a little bit of all chat. I'm not sure how I feel about that one, but you know. Tier 2 on top, in a little bit of trouble. They did manage to find what looks to perhaps be an unequal trade. Tux comes in, they're looking for Besio, but without even a point, well, there's 2 points up in the mana leak, but they're not going to be able to find that kill. Just going to be fine to TP himself out. So, Yosin still farming up, but a long way away from his Hex right now, unless there's something up on the courier, which there is not. And GED, everybody just trying to find their feet again, I think, a little bit after that extremely prolonged pause. Doom does now have his heart finished up and a gem, so this is a really good time for Besio to try and make something happen, but Doom's still got slots to fill, and he's probably going to be happy to farm at least for a little while longer. And it's not really freeing up all that much space for the CK. One consideration that has to be there for Besio is that they're pushing into an Aegis, which is a little bit difficult, but with the advantage that they have right now, definitely not insurmountable. And GED do still have that Aegis up for another 4 minutes. Well, about another 3.5 minutes. Sorry, but yeah, that's pretty much it right now. GED might be able to finish up the BKB on the CK just by leveraging the Aegis, though Tux doesn't really have all that much farm coming his way right now. So Mal continues to add cold to his very expansive coffers right now, and Besio not very close to his next big pickup, but with that Hex already finished up, he is already very, very strong, and almost up to level 16 as well, so as soon as he picks that one up, Sonic Wave gets even stronger, and he's starting to reach his max potential, at least until he gets that next item up. GED, looks like they don't want to go until they've got the BKB up on the CK. We've got some squiggles and swastikas drawn on the map right now by GED. I suspect you've got a smoke gank coming out from Besio moving up into the Radiant Jungle, so showing that they are not afraid of the dire side right now, and they're actually going to use the Queen of Pain as bait. And this is actually really, really nice. We've got some ping spam going out at the moment, so GED might know about this one. But it's going to be pretty much a full 5v5 engagement, and CK is going to be initiated on immediately. He will be able to pop that Aegis, still doing as much damage as he can, holding on to the Phantasm right now. He will drop, Aegis will pop, and Besio in a great position right now. The Macropyre drops, but it's only the Shadow Demon taking a little bit of damage. We got the Purge on Tux, and the Sonic Wave into the top, it's huge. The Dream Coil does drop, however, 4-second stun up on Maul, but it's just too tanky to bring down. Tux looks like he's going to drop, walking straight into his Doom there. Hypno going to be the target. The Doom goes out on the CK, no Aegis for him anymore. The buyback going to be flying out from him as well, and Jakiro just has one last Ice Path left. CK still looking for this kill, but I mean, Mal's on half HP, but that's pretty much 2k right now. Besio may be in trouble. Eosin not quite enough to finish that one off, so he's going to be trying to TP himself out. Nice little play and by him, and the overall exchange, I think, what was it, about 3 for 3 with the buyback thrown in for GED as well. And I think only maybe 2 died over on the side of Besio. So nicely defended by GED, but they had to invest the buyback, and that hurts for CK really, really badly. That was the majority of his BKB gold. He doesn't have the Aegis anymore, and we just saw how quickly he dropped in that fight, even twice. So, yeah, not a fun situation. And Doom just continues to farm. He never has to really head back to base with that Heart of Tarask up, and another 2.2k gold in the bank for him. Roshan's still a ways away, in fact, so 4.5 minutes. We might see Besio wait around for it, but they're probably in the advantageous position without Roshan in hand, and 12k gold the lead right now, 7.5k XP. It continues to just bump up further and further and further. Tux, not a whole lot of farm again either. Both of the big physical DPS dealers on GED aren't really finding items, while everyone over on the Radiant side is just getting scarier and scarier and scarier, and especially this Gyrocopter. He is just ruining the supports in these fights, and even Tux, I mean, he needs to be using the Shikuchi for good mobility, try and get through the fights, disrupt things a little bit, but with that gem up, he can't really be man-fighting all that much. And especially with the fairly low pull, the low range that the Weaver does have, it could be trouble. They're going to spot out the Gyrocopter on mid, recalling Tux in as well. Looks like he's going to die. Our Besio are going to try and take this initiation. They do drop down. The Dream Call was dropped out. The Mana Leak up on Doom, trying to make his escape. Actually going to be waiting that one out. And the buyback immediately from the Gyrocopter. So gets caught out a little bit. Does pay. And I guess pays with the buyback as well. But interesting to see that they were tempted to invest that one. I mean, BKB is on cooldown for him as well right now. It's a pretty bad situation to fight. I guess just feeling confident with their position in the game. 2-2 tower are going to be in trouble up on top. And Dreamcall wasn't actually used in that fight. So Phantasm and Dreamcall are both still up. CK would love to have that last point up in the Phantasm and have enough gold for his BKB, but unfortunately hasn't been able to find it. And, oh, Besio, are they just going to look to head up straight up onto the high ground? There's a Sanj up on Doom. He is crazy tank right now. Besio, significantly less so. Going to be eating the Illuminate there. And the nice thing about the Keeper of the Light is that he's going to be able to stall this game out, at least for a while longer. There is a pipe up on Hypno if they want to try and man up and push. And looks like Shadow Demon wanted to heal off those neutrals with the sword, but he's just going to TP himself back out. And GED make an excursion out of the base. Maul might be in trouble. We can have a blink, we can have a coil. Is there anyone else? There's a blink, but no coil. Doom just a little bit too fast. And are we going to have a full engagement? It's a slight advantage for GED if they stay up on this high ground, but Besio, he's got an invis. He's scouting out. Can he find a pick? Everyone's a little bit split up. I don't think they should be taking this engagement. I mean, Gyrocopter's made his way all the way down towards bot right now. So I guess Besio just keeping tabs. There's not really going to be a fight. And right now, what have we got going on? So Besio is still just scouting out a little bit on Rosh. It's about 2 minutes away, so are both teams not aware of the Rosh timings? Perhaps. They keep checking it, both sides, so maybe a little bit lax there. We'll have to see, depending on how quickly they head towards the Rosh pit once it is up. Both teams on mid right now, but top is going to be pushing in quite heavily. And GED might actually have to head back and deal with that. We've got a ping going out right now from Master Risk, but they've actually gone for a smoke. They're moving down and around. They need to really burst someone down pretty much immediately. Fortunately, Besio isn't there. He's actually gone up for the 10-minute rune, so this could be a pretty good time to take an engagement. There's a smoke as well out from Besio. They spot the ward. They're going to reveal the Doom. He's got a Heaven's Halberd up right now as well. He is just crazy tank. Bringing him down is going to be a chore, frankly. And Gyrocopter goes up. He's looking for the initiation. The Phantasm pops off. He's to the target. We've got a nice ice path going down. Eason jumps in, finds a nice silence, and looks like Shadow Demon already dead. Doom just standing his ground. Looks like he just doomed up Tux there. Looks like he will drop the Reality Rift on the Doom, but he's just way too tanky to kill. Still just chasing forward. Still just wreaking absolute chaos, and the Chaos Knight now hit by the Heaven's Halberd, not able to do any chaos wreaking of his own. 2 for 1 the exchange right now, but Besio keeping pretty much all their big heroes up. Not sure how Quap dropped. A lot of focus fire on her, and actually a nice pick off there by GED. But looks like Besio just gonna head straight into the pit. They do seem to have the timing of this one down as lore. And ESN looking to slow this one, or looking to slow this at least a little bit, and Besio actually playing quite defensively are going to opt to back themselves out, even with the CK dead at the moment. There's only buyback available on the Puck as well, and actually Puck's buyback cooling down. So did he? Oh, he must have bought back in that last fight. to try and rejoin. He did get doomed, so I guess seeing him alive now, he did definitely buy back. I'm gonna have another sip of water. Sorry about that, guys. And GED, are they actually going to be able to leverage the dire advantage enough to get this Roshan? Besio moving into position, but everyone's still quite far away, and Mal's actually heading all the way back to base. So, yeah, I don't think they can stop this. Roshan's going to be pretty slow, and Tuck's getting bashed up a little bit. Unfortunately, CK only just respawned. He's not doing all that much damage and really wants to finish off that PKB before the next fight, but this is really slow from GED. This is a painfully slow rush, in fact. And Besio, they don't necessarily have to know, but there's some pings going out. It's just way too slow for them to try and take, and looks like Undying has now scouted them out, so it's going to be a full 5v5 regroup, and Quap double damage up on her, almost half of the duration left. Aslor goes up! He's going to get the blinding light, but immediately Hexed, he's going to drop. Bad positioning there, I think, from the, well, frankly, from the Keeper of the Light. Going up that hill blind, and this might just be enough for Besio to just take Rosh, and maybe even just put it up on the Queen of Pain. I don't think Doom is going down anytime soon. 19 armor, almost 4k HP, and yep, I mean, making a lot quicker work of this Roshan, a lot quicker work of the Rosh than GED were. And now the Age is up on the Gyrocopter. He's got his Manta Style finished as well. This is just a huge farm lead, frankly, for Besio. Over 10k XP and 15k gold. So, this won't necessarily be a game-ending push that they're coming up for right now, but it's huge on the onus to defend for GED, and they're putting the Doom at the front. Killing him is just so difficult that Besio jumps in. They're going to Doom and the Hex up on Tux, stacking things a little bit. Nice Dream Cold goes out, but there's a pipe popped as well. Just walking straight to the Macropyre is the BKB Gyrocopter going to work. This is actually a pretty big dive right now from Besio, but a double kill and a COD-like streak from Mal, and just surveying the landscape right now while he's stuck with that mana leak. And this was a BO3, right? It's not. It's only a best of one before the grand final, and I guess a little bit cheeky there from GED, but I think that might be their way of saying, I think that we're done. So yeah, GG's going to be called out. They're not going to. No, the GG's going to be called. I think that counts as the GG. We've got some internal team issues for GED, but anyway, one rack's already taken by Besio. They can probably look to make this a second one. Doom is actually going to disconnect off, but the win, I think he's just going to reconnect in just a second, unless GED do all choose to disconnect. And yeah, Besio a little bit unsure. And Tux, FFFFF, yeah, that's forfeit. Okay, so they're going to tap out. Besio are going to advance, so they're going to advance to our grand final, where I'm not sure who they're going to be facing, but it should be exciting all the same. Looks like we might just wait around for Doom to reconnect. But yeah, go finals GG. I think that's pretty much it. And yeah, everyone's just going to disconnect off. The win taken by Besio. I'll wait around for the final score screen for the sake of the VODs. Doom is just too tanky. What the heck? That's just silly. He reconnects and reconnects to his victory, but he is just absurdly tanky at this point. And tries to drag some AFKs out of the Phantom for some glorious victory farm right now. And just waiting on the CK to disconnect off before we have the final score screen pop up. Gyrocopter comes forward, picks up another kill. Hopefully we'll see this game end in just a second with CK or Gyro disconnecting. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This was our semi-final for the Adroit's TT Esports Dota 2 Weekly. As always, I'm Baseskip bringing you guys this game. And yeah, we've got the grand finals coming up very soon. If you guys have any feedback for me as far as my casting goes, please leave a message in chat or send me an email at baseskipdota@gmail.com. But yeah, big thanks to both Adroits and TT Esports for this tournament. CK hasn't disconnected, so it's about 30 seconds away to the game end. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Hope to see you guys in the next. Thanks, everyone.